Okay guys, today I got a project working on the car. I'm going to replace the axle seals on this old Pontiac. It has drum brakes on the rear, solid rear axle. The seal that's in there is probably the original. It's a 1976 Pontiac Ventura. So it's leaking and brake pads are getting wet with gear lube. You can see down here, it's kind of wet with gear lube. We have to pull the axles out of the differential. To do that, we have to take the differential cover off, and underneath there, it's going to be a small bolt you have to take out, and then you pull this pin out of the differential, and then you have to push the axles in slightly, and then there's some C-clips you can get out, and then you can pull the axles out and replace your seal. So I'm going to go through that. So this axle has a limited slip, so when you put this back together, you got to make sure you add the limited slip additive. It's a friction modifier. So I'm just getting these bolts out. Alright, so what I like to do is I like to leave one bolt up top here. Just get a screwdriver and pop the gasket a little bit. And it looks pretty dirty, so it's time for a change. I changed the differential gears in this rear end about 10 years ago. So this lube's been in there 10 years, but it doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Okay, what you want to do is make sure your car's in neutral. Then you're going to want to turn the gear until you see a bolt. You can tell this is a limited slip. It's got the springs in it and clutches. So, GM factory limited slip. So here comes that bolt. It's right there. This bolt right here. That's what holds the entire the axles in. So sometimes these bolts break. It's a long pin, and it goes through this shaft right here. This is a solid shaft of metal. It goes through this differential. So you're going to take that out first. Okay, so what you need is an 8mm wrench to get that off. When you put this back together, you're going to want to put some Loctite on there. You want to clean that up really good so it's all degreased. Some parts cleaner on there, or brake cleaner. And then Loctite this bolt. Okay, so to get this bolt out the rest of the way, you have to take the bearing cap off. And when you take the bearing cap off, make sure you take a look at this arrow right here. Make sure that's facing the right way when you reinstall it. Okay, bearing cap off. And we can get that little bolt out. So this is what holds the whole thing together. A lot of times these break off right here. And normally the rear end doesn't fly apart because that pin is still in there. It holds it together, but a lot of times you'll see this will be broken. So next we have to push this center pin out. You have to drive that out of there. I'm going to do so. I'm going to take a socket to get started. You don't want to tap that in too far. So if you tap it out too far, you won't be able to turn this anymore. You have a problem. So tap it a little bit, just enough so you can still turn the differential, and then you can pull it out the other side. Alright, so I got the pin worked out enough that I can push the axles in though. So I'll show you that in a minute here. So next, this is the end of the axle right there. See that? And the C-clips are back behind there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to push in on the axle. That's the C-clip right there. C-clip comes out. You can see the splines on the end of the axle now. And what I do right now, you can pull the whole axle out. Just like that. Helps to have a seal puller. And this car has pretty low miles. It has 75,000 miles on it, so I'm not going to change these bearings. Just going to put new seal in. I like to take a little gear oil and just lube that lip of the seal up before I install it. I'll just put a little bit on the edge. And alright, there we go. Get the new seal installed. A little lube on there. Pretty much ready to reassemble this. Okay guys, so that's how you install your axle seals on a GM differential on a truck or older car that has a differential. It's not too difficult of a job. Just take your time and you'll get it done. Alright, take care guys.